Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you guys? Please let me know, guys. How are you guys? Please let me know. Fine, no issues with the audio and the video. That's great. Okay, so let me open up. So can you guys let me know what have we studied in our previous class? Can you guys let me know what have we studied in our previous class, guys? Can you guys let me know what have we studied in our previous class? Please let me know. Variables. Okay, that's right. Python basics and variables, Google Colab, and all these kind of stuff. Okay, that's amazing that you guys are able to remember that. Okay, so today we'll be continuing with the same. We'll be moving further. Okay, I will just provide you the GitHub notes as well once again. Because I know there will be some people who will be telling, sir, notes nahi diya, sir. You have not given us the notes. And like always, I will be telling them the exact same thing that the notes have been provided in the yesterday's class itself. Let me just provide it once again right over here in the live chat, and I will be pinning the notes up as well. We just pin up the notes. Along with the same, I will put it up in the description of the video itself. So the link to the notes are already there in the description. That's amazing. And I will just open the same up in Google Colab. So let me just open up the same in Google Colab as well. Colab. Just open this up. GitHub integration from GitHub. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so it has authenticated using GitHub. Let's paste it right over here. And then click on this particular search button, and that should take us to our search page. Okay, so this will take us to our search page right over here. And let's connect to the collab servers. So that will be happening. Take us a minute or two. Let's go to the point where we were. So multiple assignment operator. This was where we were for the last time itself, guys. And we'll be continuing from right over here as well. So shall we start with our today's class, guys? Please let me know. Shall we start with our today's class, guys? Please let me know, guys. Give me a second, guys. I need some water. Up till that point of time, you guys can just go ahead and like the video if you haven't done it up till this point of time. So just like the video, guys. I'll be coming in just 1 minute. I just need some water. My throat is all itchy. So give me a second, guys. So that's okay. So we can now start off with our today's class. Okay, let's get started. Um, right now we are going to start with multiple assignment operator. Now, one of the best things with Python is its ease of use and how it basically helps you to do like a lot of different things with less amount of code when compared to the other languages as well. So when you compare it to C++ or Java or JavaScript, the same thing that you need to write like 5-6 lines of code in these languages, the same thing can be done in Python in 1 or 2 lines of code itself. So it basically makes your entire code very concise and very easy to understand as well. Okay, so for example, right over here you are having these 3 variables that you are creating. Okay, so height is equals to 3, okay, length is equals to 6, width is equals to 2. These are the 3 variables that you have created right over here. You are having volume is equals to height into length into width. That is how you calculate your volume as well. Okay, so can we do paper coding due to scarce of resource? Shubham Sinha, that is the reason why yesterday as well I had mentioned that we are using Collab, because this can be done using your WhatsApp as well. Okay, so you don't actually require your normal mobile phone. You don't actually require proper like computer for the same, so you can do it from your mobile phone as well. Okay, Shubham, I hope that that should solve your problem from right over here. Okay, great. So let's continue from right over there. Okay, as you are able to see, we are having print volume, so it will print 3 into 6 into 2, that is 36. Okay, so if we are running this particular line of code, you will be able to see that we are getting 36 as our answer. Now in Python, you can use something called as multiple assignment operator. Okay, you can use something called as multiple assignment operator to, instead of writing 3 lines of code to do this, to assign 3 variables to 3 data points, you can do that in a single line of code as well. Let us look at this. So you are having height comma length comma width is equals to 3 comma 6 comma 2. Okay, so you can easily like, so 3 will be assigned to height, 6 will be assigned to length, 2 will be assigned to width. So it does the exact same thing as this. Okay, it does the exact same as this, but just in one line of code. We will be coming to back to this at a later point of time when we'll be learning about tuples, but right now as you're able to see, like instead of writing it on 3 separate lines, we can do it in a single line of code itself. Okay, so let's run this very line of code. As you're able to see, we are getting 36. That is the same answer as before. Okay, as simple as that. So that is one of the benefits of using your Python as a coding language. Are you guys able to understand? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Please be a little bit quicker to answer me, because like we have to continue as well. Okay, great. So variable naming conventions. Now there are some naming conventions that are there that you need to follow while naming your variable itself. Let us look at some of these conventions. Okay, so let us go to paint. Okay, the first convention that you need to follow is that while creating a variable name, for example rent, okay, rent is your variable name, so it has 2 particular parts. One is the first particular letter, and then there is the rest of the word that is there. Okay, so the first letter of the variable name, and then the rest of the portion of the variable name itself. Now the first letter of the variable name can only be small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and an underscore. These are the only 3 possibilities that are there for the first letter of your variable name. As far as the rest of the variable name, it can contain small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, underscore, and 0 to 9. Okay, it can contain 0 to 9 as well. It can contain numbers as well. So you cannot have something like 0 James Bond. Okay, you cannot have something like this. Okay, whereas James Bond 007 is a valid variable name. Okay, so you can have underscore JB as a valid variable name, but you cannot have @JB, or you cannot have J@B or something like that. You cannot contain special characters inside your variable name. Okay, so you can only have small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and underscore inside your variable name, and the first letter of your variable name cannot be a number. Okay, the first letter of your variable name cannot be a number. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. There is no difference. Okay, I've already mentioned it right over here. If you are not able to listen to me carefully, you should be able to understand it from this written visual stuff that I've like showcased to you guys. Okay. Okay, so please try to remember this, guys. Okay, this is very important. Okay, the next thing is you cannot use keywords, okay, or reserved keywords as your variable name. For example, you cannot use print. Okay, you cannot use print as a variable name because it already has some special meaning in Python. You cannot use for as a variable name. It already has some special meaning in Python. That is the reason why. Okay, and now you will be saying that, okay, we don't know what are the reserved keywords in Python. Don't worry about it. It comes to you with practice. The more that you will be practicing in Python, the more you will be able to understand. Also, these reserved keywords are usually highlighted when you type them inside of Python. So that is how you will be able to understand this. Okay, so as simple as that, guys. Okay, so let us look at these rules. Okay, you can go ahead and just pause the video and read through these rules as well if you were not able to understand. The next thing that you need to understand is in Python, variable names are case sensitive. Okay, in Python, variable names are case sensitive. So let me just show it to you guys. So small str, capital STR, capital S, small t, small r, capital S, capital T, small r, capital S, small t, capital R, all these will be considered as different variable names. Okay, different variable names because Python is a case sensitive language. Okay, Python is a case sensitive language. So all these different keywords, the variable names will be considered as different variable names because Python is a case sensitive language, guys. So please try to remember this. Now if you are not following any one of these rules as well, if you're not following any one of these rules as well, you will get an error, okay, at the end of the day. For example, right over here, these are some of the allowed variable names as you are able to see. Okay, x equals to 2, y is equals to hello, my Python, my underscore Python. Then you are having underscore my underscore Python, then you are having underscore my Python in all caps, my Python 7. These are all allowed variable names. So you will not get any error right over here. Everything will work absolutely fine. Now these are some of the variable names that are not allowed. Right over here, you are starting the first letter of the variable name is a number, so you cannot contain the first letter as a number. This is not a valid variable name. You cannot have a hyphen, that is a special character. You cannot have a hyphen anywhere inside your variable name. You cannot have @, that is a special character. You cannot have @ anywhere inside your variable name. You cannot have a space inside your variable name. Okay, you cannot use a keyword, a reserved keyword in your variable name. As you're able to see, this reserved keyword has been highlighted for you guys. So if you try to run this particular lines of code, you will get a syntax error. What is the syntax, guys? Just like in English, you are having grammar, some rules and regulations that have been set up to make sure that you are writing proper English. The same thing happens in programming as well. Okay, so when you are usually programming, if you are making any type of grammatical errors, that are called as a syntax error. Okay, so right over here, these are all considered to be syntax error, guys. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Okay, great. So the next thing that we need to focus upon is, so these were rules. Okay, if you are breaking these rules, then for example, in your daily life, you are breaking a rule itself. Okay, then you will be thrown into a jail. Okay, if you are breaking a rule itself, you will be thrown into a jail itself. But there are some conventions that are there. Okay, but if you are breaking a convention, you're not thrown into a jail. You're just thought of as not a human being. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? If you are breaking a rule, you're thrown into a jail. Okay, similar to that, there is something called as conventions. If you're not following a convention, then you're not sent to jail, but you're not called a human being. For example, if I murder somebody, okay, I will be sent to jail. If I murder somebody, I'm breaking a rule, I will be sent to jail right over there. But if I am directly, like, instead of using my hands or instead of using a fork and a spoon, if I'm directly taking my dish out and just like eating it directly through my mouth itself, like just the plate and the mouth directly, then people will not consider me as a human being. They will consider me as an animal, but they won't send me to jail for doing that. Okay, so that is the difference between a convention and a rule. Now, these were rules. Okay, if you are not following these rules, you will get a syntax error. If you are not following these rules, you will get a syntax error right over there. But there are some conventions that has been created by the Python development community in general, and if you are not following these conventions, okay, if you're not following these conventions, then in that particular case, okay, you are like, you will not get an error. Your code will work absolutely fine. But according to the Python community, anybody is looking at your code, they will think that you are a noob. Okay, you don't know how to program in Python itself. So that is what these conventions are for. Again, just to remind you guys that not understanding is not an option. If you're not able to understand something, do not write not understanding in the live chat. Write exactly what you are not able to understand, so that I'm able to help you guys out. Okay, if I'm just seeing that no, I'm not able to understand, so what are you not able to understand? I said 50 different things in the past 10 minutes. What is that you are not able to understand? So you have to be very specific in the live chat that this is what I'm not able to understand, guys. Okay, Yogita Sony, you will be able to get the notes either in the live chat. I have pinned the notes up, or in the description of the video as well. We have provided the notes right over there. Okay, great. So conventions, say Shriya Seventh, like I made you guys understood. A rule is, for example, if you are murdering somebody, you are thrown into a jail. But if you are eating like a dog, okay, just to be very, very specific, if you're eating, like you're putting your face into your dish and directly start eating from right over there, you're not thrown into a jail. You are just considered to be a bad human being, that you are an animal, you're not a human being itself. So eating with your hands or eating with a fork and a spoon is considered to be a convention, not a rule. Whereas not to murder someone is a rule. Okay, it's not a convention. Okay, so that is the difference between a convention and a rule itself. Okay, if you still are not able to understand, it's an English term, just Google it. Okay, I am not here to increase your vocabulary. I'm here to make you guys understand about the programming stuff, but I try to make sure that it's fun and interesting as well. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see, some of the conventions that are there while naming a variable inside of Python. Try to keep the name of the variable descriptive but short. Okay, try to keep the name of the variable descriptive but short. Okay, for example, if you're taking up the height of a particular tree and you need to create a variable name for that, okay, so do not keep the variable name as just height. Okay, okay, sorry, do not keep the variable name as x or h. It's too short, you are not able to understand anything. Okay, do not keep the variable name as height underscore of underscore the underscore tree. This is a very long variable name. It's descriptive, but it's not short. Okay, it's very long. The problem with x and h is that it's too short and it is not descriptive. So the right variable name would be just height or height underscore tree. These will be the proper variable names that are short but descriptive as well. Okay, so height or height underscore tree will be the proper variable name. So this is something that you have to understand on your own, that whether this is a descriptive and a short variable name or not. Okay, that is the first convention. The next particular convention is that also the Pythonic way of naming the variables is to use all lowercase letters and underscores to separate the words. It is to use all lowercase letters and underscores to separate the words. For example, these are the Pythonic way of naming a variable. All the letters are all the letters are lowercase letters itself. All the letters are lowercase letters, as well as the words, that is my and height, are separated by an underscore right over here. So this is called a snake case. Okay, this is called, the technical term for this is called a snake case, and this is considered to be the Pythonic way of naming a variable. Okay, this is also considered to be a Pythonic way of naming a variable. Okay, so the non-Pythonic way of naming a variable is using all capital letters, or using a camel case, or having a space in between them. So these are all not Pythonic way. So even though these are not following, okay, even though these are not following the conventions, but if I'm running this, I'm not getting a syntax error. The code is working absolutely fine, but it is not following the conventions itself. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, great. So again, so let's continue from right over there. So rent is equals to 1700, and then you're writing rent is equals to 2000 right over here. Now that previous 1700 is lost in the memory, you cannot recover it back. Okay, now the new value inside of the variable rent is 2000 rupees. Okay, this is called as overwriting the variable. Okay, this process is called as overwriting the variable itself. That basically means that when a new value is assigned to a variable, the old one is forgotten. Okay, this is called as overwriting the variable. First it was 1700, then we have put up rent is equals to 2000. Okay, so you are able to get now the new value is 2000, the old one is forgotten. So this is called as overwriting the variable, where when a new value is assigned to a variable, the old one is forgotten. Okay, that's good. Now for example, you are having initially your rent was 1700, your landlady increased your landlady increased the rent to 2000 rupees. Now you had a crazy house party and you damaged some of the property, so now you have to pay a fine of 700 rupees. So now rent is equals to rent plus 700. So what will be the answer, guys? What will be the answer? Can somebody let me know? What will be the answer, guys? Can somebody let me know? What will be the answer, guys? Can somebody let me know? That's absolutely clever, guys. 2700. So if I'm running this particular line of code, you're able to see that we are getting 2700 right over here. But instead of writing this, okay, I can also write it as rent plus is equals to 700. The exact same sentence that was rent is equals to rent plus 700. I can write it as rent plus is equals to 700 right over here. Okay, this basically means that you want to increment the value on the left by the value on the right. Okay, this basically reads as I want to increment rent by 700. I want to increment rent by 700. That is what it basically means. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. So if we are running this line of code, as you're able to see, it provides us the exact same output, that is 2700 itself. There's nothing to understand. Okay, like as you are able to see, it was earlier rent is equal to rent plus 700. You can write the exact same sentence as rent plus is equal to 700. That basically means the exact same thing. There's nothing to understand right over here. Okay, great. So as you're able to see, we can actually use this plus is equals to operator to tell Python that we are incrementing the value on the left by the value on the right. Okay, plus is equals to is an example of an assignment operator. Minus is equals to, multiplication is equals to, division equals to are also examples of assignment operators itself. Okay, so you can do it as rent is equals to rent multiplied by 700. So that will be rent multiplied by is equals to 700. Okay, then you want to have rent is equals to rent divided by 700. You can also do that. Okay, if you want to have rent is equals to rent minus 700, you can also do that. So that is how you can proceed it with the same, guys. Okay, I hope that you are able to understand this. Please do let me know. I hope that you are able to understand this. Please do let me know, guys. I hope that you are able to understand this. Please do let me know, guys. Okay, great. So the next thing is basically the different data types that are there in Python. Now, as you are able to see, there were different type of data that we were able to see. For example, sometimes it was integers, sometimes it was not so integer. Okay, it was a decimal value. So there are various types of data that exists in Python, and for each of these data, you have a different data type that basically caters to that kind of data itself. We'll be learning about our very first data type, that is integers and floats. Okay, so far the number that we have dealt with were mostly whole numbers or integers, but as you must have noticed that there are other type of numbers, that is decimal numbers, that also exist. Okay, so for example, dividing one integer by another gives a number that is not quite an integer. Let's see right over here, you are having 3 divided by 2. 3 and 2 both are integers itself. 3 and 2 are both are integers. So if we are running this particular line of code, okay, if we are running this particular line of code, we are able to get 1.5 as our output, which is not quite an integer. Are you guys able to get this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to get this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Okay, yes, the plus is equals to is called as an addition assignment operator. Okay, so that is how you can remember it. Okay, so right over here, 3 divided by 2 is resulting in something that is not like integer. Both 3 and 2 are both integers, but we are getting a number that is decimal, and this number is called as a floating point number in Python. Okay, this number is called as a floating point number in Python. Okay, so numbers with the decimal points, that's 3.14, are called as floating point numbers or floats. Note that even though the value 42 is an integer, the value 42.0 will be a floating point number. Please listen to me very carefully, read what I'm saying, you will be able to understand it. Okay, so a number 42 will be considered an integer, but a number 42.0 will be considered as a floating point number. 42 is an integer, but 42.0 will be a floating point number. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see, we can check what is the data type of a particular object in Python using the type function. So you are having a is equals to 3, b is equals to 2.5. Want to print out the type of a. Okay, so just write type, that is it. They want to check the data type of a, and then the object for which you want to check up the data type of, and then type of b. Now we'll be running this particular line of code and printing it out. As you're able to see, the type of a is integer, that is 3 is an integer, and the type of b is float, so you are getting float as your output right over there. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Now, int is the short form for integer, and float is the short form for floating point number. Okay, float is the short point for floating point number, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next particular thing, that is how can we convert a float to an integer and an integer to a float. Okay, we can do that as well. For example, if you try to convert an integer, so 3 is an integer value, guys. 3 is an integer value right over here. If you want to convert it into a float, okay, so you just have to write float in front of it, and then in parentheses the integer that you want to convert into float. Okay, the output will be that we will be adding 0.0 after the integer. Okay, for example, if I'm running this particular line of code, you're able to see that it will just add 0.0 in front of the integer. That's it. Okay, so for example, if it was 36, then also it will be 36.0. That is how it will convert any integer to a floating point number. Similar to that, if you are having a floating point number, for example 28.9, and you want it to be converted to an integer, you just have to write int and then in parentheses the floating point number. Now what Python will do for you is it will truncate, okay? It will remove everything after the decimal point, whether it be 28.0, 28.5, 28.4, 28.9, 28.8, anything that is there, okay? It will just remove everything after the decimal point, okay? This is not rounding up, okay? We are not trying to round up anything. We just want a float to be converted to an integer, and this is how Python does that for you, okay? It will remove anything after the decimal point and you will get your answer as 28, as you are able to see right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Great. So let's move on from right over here. Now, this is a very important point and very interesting point as well, guys. Okay, this is something that you will have to use. Like, this is something that is usually asked in your interviews nowadays. Okay, so please try to understand this in one go. Okay, it's very difficult to make you guys understand this again and again. Okay. But please, like, try to understand that you are able to understand it. Okay. After print, brackets are important. Yes, brackets are important. Okay, so another point that you need to keep in mind is that float is an approximation. Guys, I think so I will not be able to continue the class right now. I don't know why. There's something happening in my throat itself. Every time I'm speaking, it is getting like obliterated right now. Will it be possible that we are able to continue the class from tomorrow onwards? Like, I will take up some extra time tomorrow. So instead of having the class as 1 hour, I'll be taking the class as 1.5 hours itself. Okay, I don't know why, but like my throat is actually paining right now. Will it be possible for you guys? Please do let me know. I don't know why this is happening. I think so Susie did something to me. Hey, what did you do to me? Okay, thank you so much, guys. I will show you the attendance link for today, guys. Give me a second. Forms. I think so. I had a lot of chips today, so the entire masala got stuck in my throat or something like that. I don't know why. Let me just show you the attendance form for today, guys. Give me a second. Yeah, I will definitely be calling my mom up for like understanding what is happening to me. Okay. I also have no idea what happens. I'm not a doctor. My brother is going to become a doctor, so that's good to hear. Okay, give me a second, guys. So it was 02 right over here. And responses are opened up. Link, shorten, copy, QR. Sir, about the project. So project will be told to you at the 4th day. I think so I have told you guys that early on as well in the bootcamp. Okay. Yes, we'll be having bootcamps on AI ML in the future as well. Don't worry about it. Day 2 AUG. Yes, we'll be having a bootcamp on AI and ML in the future as well. Okay. So when will I get certificate? I've already submitted JS and React project. That's great, Ansh. But I've already told you guys that you have 4 days to submit the project. After those 4 days, it will go into checking for 1 week, and so it will take at least 2 weeks after the end of the bootcamp to send out the projects. Okay, so you can calculate it accordingly. Okay, so this is the QR code for today's class, guys. Thank you so much for being patient and understanding as well. We'll meet tomorrow again at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow we'll be having a class of 1.5 hours, so please be prepared. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.